showing our garden in wintertime, or almost wintertime. Chopping the wood for our stove. And we do have a lot of wood because we took down one tree. This was an acacia tree. Look at all the branches that are still here. Over here there's the second slice from the bottom off. And you can see that it's all molded inside the trunk. So it was really not a safe situation to keep the tree. At first we were not planning on taking down this beautiful tree. And our neighbors were complaining that we had to take them down. But at first we refused. Here's another one, but that's a smaller one. And then we saw that there were a lot of dead branches inside the tree. And they were almost coming down. So that's not a safe situation. So two weeks ago we decided to take them down, or we had to ask the landlord, and then they took the tree down. An interesting story is that the landlord told us to call him when we were about to chop the tree, and when he came he was all worked up, stressed, and then he said, well, we planned on taking down 2 trees, but I'm not sure about it. I think I just want to chop down 1 tree, because he has a lot of sentiment in the garden, in the town, also in the house. We've experienced the same thing with him. So we only took 1 tree down, and now he has to pay another time for the truck to come to take down the other tree. And there's also one over here. That's not really, branches. That's also not really healthy. So we're going to take that one down too. But in spring, because of sentiment. Well, here you can see what emotions are doing. Just fucked up. Look at how many branches. I think we have enough wood from 1 tree to be warm and cozy a whole winter next year. And then the garden, the vegetable garden. Well, this is only a little part away from the main garden. There's parsley and celery. But celery isn't doing really well here. Well, a lot of plants are not doing well in the garden. They stay really, really small. And then over here we have the broccoli. Hey, the cat again. We have the winter variety, the normal. Well, they're doing well, but there are a lot of snails. You can see that here. They enjoy eating the vegetables too. And then our herbs. The rosemary. Our hazelnut. That one is also a bit weird. It has been growing underneath big trees, so it didn't have any chance to grow in a normal way. There's also here, let's see if I can, well, they're so high, I cannot, maybe if I just turn like this. They're so big, and we want to cut those also, take them down, because these are pine trees, and pine trees are just well, the whole root canal, or the roots underneath, they are taking away all the food for other trees and plants. So also the walnut tree over here, this one, it's not sick, but it's just not growing like it's supposed to be. Okay. And then the vegetables. Always cover the plants with straw, so in summer they don't lose too many water, and in winter they are cozy and warm. Here's the lettuce and some fennel. Also here the snails are eating. We tried to seduce them with beer, and they liked it, and they drowned, but it wasn't effective enough. So in the end we had to buy those special blue little balls. It's poison, and we're not happy with it, but they can eat some of the lettuce, but if they eat it all, then there is no equality in there. And the cats love to go through the vegetable garden. Some more fennel. And now you can see we are making a tunnel, and the structure is already there, and when winter really arrives we put some plastic on top of it. Here we digged some sort of a canal, and there we put in all vegetable remainings, the ashes of the stove, and then we get a really nice organic soil to put on top of oh, and here we're trying to, with the ashes of the stove, to keep the snails away, because one of our neighbors told us that if we put that around the plant, the snails are not going to walk over it, so they won't touch the plants. Here it's all cauliflower. Over here Brussels sprouts. Here these are oh, I'm not sure, I have to look that up. Some carrots, but also carrots are really hard to grow here, because as you can see the soil is containing so many stones, so it's hard for carrots to grow. So we put in more loose soil to see if they can grow. Some more lettuce, some leek, and then we go a little bit up. Oh yeah, some more straw. And we have another bed with a red cabbage, but they didn't do really well. So we had some baby cabbages from it, and then another part of Brussels sprouts. But as you can see, also these are just not really good, because they're too loose. It's not forming a real little cabbage. And maybe because this part of the vegetable garden is underneath the pine trees, maybe that's the reason why it's just not coming through so good. Here's some more green cabbage. Well, they are not here because we already ate those. The remainings of it. And cauliflowers. Well, there are still a few. Look at it. But also here there are little insects on it. It's really tough to figure out how to get rid of all these insects and to find out if the insects are harmful to the plant or just, look here, all the little creatures. Well, they're eating their way through the leaves. But is it harming the plant? Because for the cauliflower we only eat the white part inside. So if they eat the leaves, then I'm fine with it. Oh yeah, that's also a tip one neighbor had given us. Just cover for winter the cauliflower with an old leaf, so it will be protected against the weather. Let's see. Oh, there's another porch. Here I planted, I think 1 year ago. No, first I used some seeds for growing lavender, and then when it became plants I interplanted them into bigger containers, and finally here in the soil. But it's really, really tough for them to grow. They haven't been growing much. Well, they're bigger than when they were seeds, and we had some flowers. Well, that's the remaining, but not enough to do anything with it. And now they're covered in all kinds of other plants, but it's good for winter. This part under or behind my drying area, this part I didn't plant, but I used a lot of mixed seeds, and most of them didn't come through. But there's one plant, and that's, I think the English word is a marigold, and it's doing really great. And even now in winter, look at it. It isn't flowering yet, but it will. Oh, here, there's one. Oh, great. Look at it. They are really, really strong, and you can use them to plant in between potatoes or all kinds of vegetables, and then they prevent a lot of beetles and insects to eat your crop. Here we planted in spring strawberries. It's now November, and they're still making flowers, and they're still making strawberries, and they're tasting good. Also here, look how big. Really, really nice. The owners have been planting and planting and planting a lot of trees throughout the garden. Everywhere where you go, you can see trunks, still the remains of a lot of trees. We have even a palm tree. Well, that's it.